So for this, I've done some trial and error and then starting the video where I'm selecting every other two. So I'm selecting two edges and skipping two, and then selecting two edges and skipping two. I'm kind of forgetting that I'm doing this, so I have to go back and fix it. So, but I'm selecting two and skipping two. Now I'm going to edit mesh and extruding. I'm clicking W for the move tool and moving up my new extruded edges. Going to the scale tool and scaling them down just to make it a more organic look. I'm extruding again, going to the scale tool, which is R, and scaling those in to give the extrusion some thickness. Going to extrude again, going to the move tool, which is W, and moving those down. I'm going up to the snapping tool, and then snapping it to the that edge, and then I turn snapping off. Now I'm changing to object mode. I'm going to change it so I can see the texture so I can see it better. I'm going back to edge mode, selecting these two edges, and then going to edit mesh and the bridge tool and going to the bridge options. And I'm going to have to go to the divisions being 0. And so I'm selecting these two edges and then pressing G because G selects the last tool you use. So in order to go quick, I'm selecting two edges and pressing G each time. So I have all that done. Now I'm going to select these edges in between our extrusions. And now I'm going to go to the extrude tool again. I'm going to press R for the scale and scale those in and try to match them up so that they're as close to the other edge of our extrusions as possible. And now I'm going to vertex mode. And I'm going to turn on snapping again, go to the move tool and snap these points so that they're on top of the other points. So we can have some clean geometry. So moving from the middle, so you don't have to move in the red or blue. You can select the yellow circle. So now all that is done. I pressed 4 for wireframe. I'm going to the edge mode and selecting the edges and going to the merge tool. And so I'm pressing G again for the merge tool to go quicker. And keep going. I'm showing you here with the HUD up. You can see that now you have 2 selected, and when you press G, now you have 1. So you can see that the tool is working. So have 2, go to merge, and now you have 1. Okay, now press 6 to go back to shaded display. Go into object mode. I'm going to go back to edge mode and do the double click that I showed you the other time that didn't work. And so that should still look like the whole edge loop. I'm going to go to edit mesh and extrude. And then go to the scale tool, which is R, and scale that in. And so I'm going to be going to the move tool and turning off snapping and moving that down. And I'm going to be doing multiple extrusions to kind of create an organic bowl shape in the center of this. So I'm continually pressing G and then R for scale. Now I'm making my last extrusion. We have to close this circle, so I'm going to vertex mode. And so I can see better, I went to 4 for wireframe display, and then I noticed that there's some extra geometry on my mesh that I'm not sure how that happened, but I have to fix it now. So I'm going back to 6 for shaded display, zooming into the inside of my mesh, going to face mode and selecting each face and just pressing delete. So I'm just deleting all the extra geometry. And this one is kind of hard to select, so I gotta keep clicking until I get it. And then selecting the vertices and merging them so that they're all one mesh, because we don't need overlapping vertices. So I'm just checking the HUD to see if there's 2 vertices that exist there. Going back to the face mode and deleting these extra faces. And going back into vertex mode and merging these faces. So I'm selecting the vertices and pressing G to merge. And then I remembered on this side I didn't merge on these vertices, so I'm doing that. And now I can press 4 for wireframe display and select all these vertices to close this hole. So edit mesh, merge to center. Press 6 to go back to shaded display. Go into object mode. I'm pressing 3. This is your quick smooth to see how your mesh is going to turn out when it's smooth. Went back to pressing 1 and then went to edge mode. Selecting each edge and make sure you're selecting the correct edge. You can see I accidentally selected the edge that was behind that, so make sure you're clicking the right edges. And go into the move tool and moving those up so they kind of look more organic and not so boxy. Pressing 3, that looks a little bit better. Turned off wireframe on shaded. and now I see the bottom and it looks messed up, so I gotta figure out what's wrong with this. First of all, the normals at the bottom are reversed, so it's looking black, so I gotta go into face mode and select those faces, and then I'm going up to mesh display and reverse normals. So that looks better. Going to object mode and pressing 3, and it still looks bad. So I'm going to go to vertex mode and see. I have two vertices here, so those need to be merged. So I'm going to select that row and have, let's see if merge, that didn't do anything. Selecting these, I have 21. Trying to see if merge does anything to this. That didn't do anything. Still a problem. So I go to vertex mode, go to this row. I see I have 134 vertices. So I merge those and it's down to 20. And we've made progress. So it looks a little bit better, but it's not good yet. So going to 4 from the wireframe display. And I can see I have some geometry in there. So I gotta go to face mode and try to select the faces. It's not really letting me select the faces easily. So I'm selecting this and then deselecting by holding down control so I can select those middle faces and deleting. Now go to object mode, press 6, press 3, and now it looks much better. And so that's pretty much how your mesh will look at this stage.